Well, hey guys, in today's video, I'm gonna give you my tips as a dermatologist for sensitive skin. Today's video is in partnership with Clear. They make a line of skincare, hair care, and cosmetics that are free of common irritating ingredients that can really cause a lot of problems for sensitive skin. You guys know I'm a huge fan. My number one tip is to minimize the skincare fetish. Ignore all the skincare marketing and just try and keep your skincare product usage minimal. Very minimal number of products, and choose products that have very few ingredients overall. If you look at the ingredient list of a skincare product and it spans a good portion of the container, not a good choice. Stick to things that have very few ingredients and minimal products. All that you need, all that anybody needs: cleanser, moisturizer, sunscreen. My second tip is to back off on cleansing. We are a culture obsessed with soaping, lathering, and cleansing. And what ends up happening is that we strip the natural lipids of our skin barrier. That can lead to dryness, irritation, and heightened sensitivity, exacerbate skin conditions like rosacea, eczema, acne. Truthfully, you only need to wash your face once a day. A lot of people enjoy washing it twice a day, particularly people with oily prone skin, and sometimes they do just fine on that path, and it's not a problem. But in the case of sensitive skin, dial back, rein into your natural lipids and stop stripping them off. You want them on board. They're gonna help you with those symptoms of irritation, tingling, etc. When it comes to washing your face, do it in the shower at the end of the day. This will minimize the number of times you expose your skin to water. Water can and does strip away the natural lipids of your skin barrier. So each time you wet your skin, you're taking some steps back in your journey away from sensitivity. Tip number 3 is to patch test skincare products, particularly if you have sensitive skin. But honestly, anybody can do this and it's helpful. Whenever you purchase a new skincare product or want to try out one, do a little spot test on your jawline and wait 24 hours to see if your skin becomes irritated there, red, if you have symptoms of itch, tingling, and if that happens, then take it back or exchange it. Tip number 4 is to avoid certain ingredients in skincare products. A lot of ingredients can be irritating. Even if you don't realize it in your brain, many ingredients over time can add insult to injury to your skin barrier and can really become problematic in the setting of sensitive skin, which can crop up at any time in your life. As you get older, you may start to experience more sensitivity. If you start taking an oral medication, like an oral antibiotic, you may have more sensitivity with pregnancy. I mean, there are a lot of physiologic changes your body will go through in its lifetime that may be associated with skin sensitivity. And so minimizing irritating ingredients in your skincare products is one way to set yourself up in a good place to minimize the risk of irritation when these things happen. And I recommend, as always, choosing products that are free of added fragrance. I will list down below in the description box all of the names that are code for fragrance. There are a lot of them, including toilet water. I know a lot of people find that hilarious, but I think it's just because of the literal translation from eau de toilette and into toilet water. But yeah, fragrance is not obvious to a lot of people because sometimes they won't label things as fragrance. And so if you don't see the F word, you may think it's fragrance free. If the product is labeled unscented or fragrance free, that doesn't always necessarily mean that it is. You still should check. Sometimes they add things called masking fragrance to unscented products in particular, which mask the scent. Products that are labeled fragrance-free sometimes still will have compounds in them that are in fact fragrance. I've seen fragrance-free products with citrus oil in them, and citrus oil has a fragrance compound in it called Citronellal, which is irritating to the skin. I get many questions like, why should we avoid fragrance if we're not sensitive to it? Not only is it irritating, it can increase the chances that other ingredients that you use are going to degrade. It interferes with the stability of other ingredients. It increases the risk of you developing an allergy to other ingredients that you use that would otherwise be fine. So it's co-sensitizing. And it also can interact with ultraviolet radiation. Different fragrance compounds can interact with ultraviolet radiation and cause certain types of photosensitive rashes. Another reason to avoid fragrance is that it can cause vasodilation. Many fragrance compounds, which I will list their names down below in the description box, can cause the blood vessels in your skin to dilate. And when that happens, that brings in more inflammatory cells and causes local tissue swelling, which over time can contribute to hyperpigmentation, low-grade irritations that you're just not aware of are happening. So avoiding fragrance is key. Another ingredient to avoid is going to be menthol. Menthol has a cooling effect on the skin. It actually can be a helpful ingredient because that cooling effect helps to distract the nerves in the skin that release itching chemicals. And so if you're coping with itch, you may notice, for example, a lot of anti-itch creams have menthol in them. But it can cause some of the same problems that fragrance compounds do. So as you can see at this point, building a skincare routine when you cope with sensitive skin can really be challenging. Clear makes it really easy. All of their products are free of these fragrance ingredients that I've mentioned, as well as menthol and any other common irritant. They're very eczema friendly, very sensitive skin friendly, and they all have minimal ingredients. It's really simple to build a very straightforward, minimal, no-nonsense skincare routine with their products. Their pH balanced face and body wash is fantastic. It's a very gentle cleanser that you can use to your face as well as to your body. And I'll talk about body cleansing in a moment. But this is fantastic for any skin type. If you have dry skin, this isn't going to be overly drying. If you have oily skin, you'll find that this is effective at kind of degreasing a little bit without stripping your skin. For washing your face in the shower, you only need a teeny tiny pea-sized amount of this. Works to a lather to your entire face. It will last a very long time. And so I like it, and I like that it's in a pump. I find that's convenient in the shower in particular. The second component of a skincare routine is moisturizing. I highly recommend, for those of you with really any type of skin, but for sensitive skin types in particular, Clear's oil-free facial lotion. This is a moisturizer that any skin type will get along with just fine. I mean, I can never say that 100%. There's always gonna be somebody who finds something stings or burns, but this is super low risk of causing any type of problems. Minimal ingredients. The last ingredient in this product though is alpha-hydroxy acid, and I wanna take a moment to point that out to you guys. Alpha-hydroxy acids can function as exfoliants. In skincare products like serums, toners, they're active ingredients typically up higher in the ingredient list at a higher concentration, and they're in there at a concentration and a pH to really act to exfoliate the skin. For people with sensitive skin, that can be irritating. But in moisturizers and lotions at low concentrations, in particular, alpha-hydroxy acids actually function as just humectants. So they're wonderful moisturizing ingredients, and they help to soften dry, bumpy skin. Yeah, the reason a moisturizer is so important in your skincare routine is that it helps with your skin barrier that becomes challenged. Your skin barrier becomes challenged throughout the day from environmental stressors like changes in moisture, going outdoors, pollutants, and skincare products that you may be using. And you need assistance from a moisturizer. Goes without saying from me, the third component of a skincare routine is sunscreen. Super important for everybody for skin cancer prevention and for reducing the burden of photo damage from ultraviolet radiation from the sun. If you have sensitive skin though, a lot of sunscreens can burn and sting, particularly chemical sunscreens. I strongly recommend the Clear SPF 40 sunscreen. The sunscreen ingredient in this is zinc oxide, the most friendly sunscreen ingredient for sensitive skin. I love wearing this when I go outside on a run because it's water resistant. It's great when you're doing sweaty activities outside. In terms of a zinc oxide sunscreen, I've got to say the cast on this is not too bad. And by cast, I mean that white flash that you will almost always get with zinc oxide sunscreens. However, if that white cast is too noticeable on your skin, as it probably will be if you have a darker skin type, I recommend their tinted sunscreen. I talked about this in my tinted sunscreen video recently. Clear also makes a fantastic line of hair care products. and cosmetics. So comment below, and if you would like to see a video from me on my favorites from Clear, I'd love to share that with you guys. Tip number 5 is to just take a step back from everything. The sensitivity of your skin is going to go through highs and lows. And so if you are at a low, meaning you're really sensitive and really experiencing a lot of irritation, you don't know where to begin or what's going on or what may be causing things, just take a complete step back from everything and take a skincare fast. Don't use any skincare products. That being said, try and protect your skin from the sun by not going out and wearing sun protective face shields and hats and sunglasses, just while you kind of decode what exactly it might be going on. It always surprises people that they've been using the same skincare products for a long time and never had any issue with them, skincare products or makeup. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they start having rashes and they don't know why, and they don't believe it's their skincare products because they've been using the same ones forever. And the reason for that is that your immune system can mount a hypersensitivity to ingredients that are coming in contact with the skin. And you can develop what's called a contact dermatitis. By definition, a allergic contact dermatitis requires that you've been exposing yourself to the allergen in the past. It doesn't just happen on a first-time exposure. It's a memory thing from your immune system. And so taking a complete fast can really help because you may have developed an allergy to something. Now, as a side note to this point, I will get comments. Well, because of this thing of potential for contact dermatitis, allergic contact dermatitis developing, does that mean it's bad to use the same skincare products? Should we switch up skincare products? No. The reason for that is that these ingredients that you can become allergic to, they're present in a lot of products, and switching up your products isn't going to reduce the risk of contact dermatitis developing at all. You'll find some of the same preservatives and allergens in multiple things. So no, it doesn't make any sense to do that. If you stick to products that have very minimal ingredients and keep it simple just to that, you have a much lower risk of developing an allergic contact dermatitis. Tip number 6 comes with introducing new products. I talked about the patch testing. The other thing is take it slowly. Don't bring on board a whole lot of new players into your skincare routine all at once, because that can complicate the picture if you develop sensitivity. And then my last tip number 7, has to do with bathing. I recommend only bathing once a day and keep your showers really short, only to 10 minutes, and be really efficient in there. Use lukewarm water because extremes of temperature, both really hot and really cold, aggravate your skin barrier. And so keep it just lukewarm and really short. The longer you're in there, the more it's diluting out and washing away your natural lipid barrier. And be strategic. People tend to over soap their skin to bits, and this can lead to stripping the skin barrier and a lot more irritation. It's a good time while you're in the shower to wash your face. A lot of people, they wash their face at a separate time outside of taking a shower, so they increase the exposure to soaps and water on the skin of the face. And so it's never made much sense to me why people don't just wash their face in the shower. There's a myth in the beauty magazines that washing your face in the shower clogs pores, but they made that up to, like, I don't know, write an article, I guess. But yeah, that's a myth. Washing your face in the shower does not clog pores. And that's actually the best time to do it because you just end up minimizing the number of times you expose your skin to water. I hope these tips were helpful to you guys. Thank you, Clear, for sponsoring a portion of today's video. Check the descripto box. I have a coupon code for you guys if you are at all interested in their products. I highly recommend them. I use them myself, as you all are well aware at this point, and you can't go wrong. I mean, a very simple routine that you can build from their products. I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.